Hey gang, Javier here for Hum of the Earth, signing in from beautiful Michoacan,
Some of these structures
a
were built
place I
in
wasn't
the
initially
1400s. I was
planning to visit while I was bicycling through the country, but that I eventually decided to after speaking with my hosts in Mazatlan. I'd asked them about any hidden gems that they knew of in Mexico, and they had said Michoacan, specifically the cities of Pátzcuaro and Morelia. Initially, I wasn't planning to go through Michoacan because it was kind of has a reputation as being one of the more dangerous states in Mexico. But my host in Mazatlan had told me that these were beautiful places worth visiting and that they were not dangerous. And as I started to research Pátzcuaro, I started to get very excited about visiting this Pueblo Mágico. Pueblo Mágico meaning magic town, which is a designation by the Mexican government as a historical and beautiful place to visit in the country. And one of the reasons why it has this designation is because of its well preserved colonial architecture. But Pátzcuaro's history goes much deeper than its colonial period. It's believed that the Chichimeca people first arrived in the area in 1324. Around this time, three indigenous groups lived around Lake Pátzcuaro who continuously fought each other. One group was called the Coringuaro, another the Isleños, and the third the Chichimecas. The Tarascan Kingdom began with Tariacuri, the first chief of the area, who assumed the title of Calzonzin, or emperor, by conquering his neighbors. Pátzcuaro was the first capital of the Tarascos. The Tarascan state was a state in pre-Columbian Mexico, roughly covering the geographic area of the present-day Mexican state of Michoacán and parts of Jalisco, and even of Guanajuato, so in western and central Mexico. At the time of the Spanish conquest, it was the second largest state in Mesoamerica. Pátzcuaro was the first capital of the Tarascos. The new kingdom was divided into three principalities called Iguazio, Tzintzuntzan, and Pátzcuaro. Later, power shifted to the Tzintzuntzan Principality. That's the ruins that we're looking at now, becoming the new capital, leaving Pátzcuaro as the ceremonial center and a retreat for the nobility. When the Spanish arrived in Michoacán, many sought refuge in Pátzcuaro. Forts were built in a neighborhood that is still called Barrio Fuerte, which means fort neighborhood. Fighting continued between the Tarascans and the Spanish. a meeting between the Emperor Tanganzuan II and Cristobal de Olid was arranged. Getting down off his horse, Olid embraced the monarch, then forced him to kneel in front of the crowd. Later, a chapel was built, which is called El Humilladero, which means the place of humiliation. In 1526, Nuño de Guzman came as head of the new Spanish government to punish the Tarascans harshly. This culminated with the torture and death of Tanganzuan II, the last Tarascan emperor. After this, most residents of Pátzcuaro fled to the mountains, leaving the area mostly unpopulated. Vasco de Quiroga arrived in Pátzcuaro to take over. He expelled Nuño de Guzman and confiscated his properties. Nuño was eventually sent back to Spain as a prisoner for his crimes in New Spain. In 1538, the Spanish established their settlement in Pátzcuaro, founding the Diocese of Michoacán with Vasco de Quiroga as first bishop. Pátzcuaro was made the capital of the new Spanish province. The 1540s saw an increase in the population of the area, with Bishop Vasco de Quiroga convincing many of the indigenous people to return and brought in a number of Spanish families. For this, Vasco de Quiroga is considered to be the founder of modern Pátzcuaro. He renamed the city as the city of Michoacán, which was confirmed by royal decree in 1553, with Pátzcuaro receiving its current coat of arms. The cathedral was constructed over the temple dedicated to the goddess of Querapari. Vasco de Quiroga wanted to build an ambitious cathedral here with 5 towers, but this was declared unacceptable by the Spanish crown, and only one of the naves was built, and it remains to this day. Pátzcuaro remained the largest city in the Spanish province until about 10 years ago, after Vasco de Quiroga's death. Viceregal authorities then decided to change the capital to the recently founded Valladolid in 1575. And today that is the city called Morelia, which is only about 60 kilometers or so to the east of Pátzcuaro. Pátzcuaro remained the economic and spiritual center of the Lake Pátzcuaro region, which is a beautiful region. Only 3 kilometers away from the center of Pátzcuaro is Cerro del Estribe Grande, which is the hike that you are seeing right now. Now, Cerro del Estribe Grande is a large volcano, which I believe is inactive, that's right next to the city, and which has a large part to do as to why the geography of the area looks the way it is. Now, as you can see, this is a really beautiful hike to see your surroundings and get some exercise. And that's one of the main things I would recommend to do in Pátzcuaro if you're there for a visit. Obviously, walking around the city, checking out some of these small museums, eating the local food, just strolling around and enjoying the well-preserved colonial architecture, as well as the pre-colonial architecture that we saw earlier, the Tsinzunzan ruins. Definitely worth a visit. They're also very close to the city, and I believe the entrance was free when I went there, or at least it was very inexpensive. I would have remembered if it was a significant fee. Yeah, so definitely a hidden gem in Mexico, Pátzcuaro is. Definitely enjoyed visiting it. And also when you're here, Morelia is basically a stone's throw away. I'll be making a video of Morelia soon that will be coming up on the channel probably next week, so you can look out for that. So right now I'm currently going through footage that I captured like 3 years ago when I was bicycling through Mexico as part of a larger journey bicycling through Latin America, so from Canada down to southern Patagonia in Chile and Argentina. After that, I bicycled through half of Eastern Africa, from Cape Town, South Africa to Nairobi, Kenya. And then I flew to Europe, where I bicycled through Central and Eastern Europe, including the Balkans and Turkey. And all those videos from those adventures are available on this same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I got to see and do, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the various blog posts and videos that I've made of those places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, soon I will be back in Mexico making more videos with more local interactions. So if you want to see that adventure, you can click on the red subscribe button below the video and click on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.